Nicole Kidman, the porcelain icon of Hollywood. Graceful, magnetic, and seemingly untouchable. She had it all: Oscar recognition, ageless beauty, and a marriage to one of the world's most powerful movie stars. But behind the flawless image of red carpets and flashing cameras, something far more unsettling was happening. A quiet imbalance of power began to take shape, one that would eventually expose the painful cost of being Mrs. Tom Cruise. What the world saw as glamour and perfection was, in truth, a life growing more isolated than anyone could imagine. Born in Honolulu in 1967 and raised in Sydney, Nicole was always the striking outsider, tall, pale, and fiercely ambitious. That determination carried her through Australia's film and television scene until 1989, when she delivered a breakout performance in Dead Calm. The role showcased her raw intensity and emotional depth, catapulting her into international attention. A year later, she landed a part in Days of Thunder, a film that would not only define her career trajectory, but also introduce her to a co-star who would change her life. At 23, she had no idea that the man she was about to fall for would become both her husband and, for the next decade, the defining force behind her identity. Her marriage to Tom Cruise became the stuff of legend. Two beautiful stars at the peak of fame, admired and envied around the globe. Long before celebrity couple nicknames were a trend, they were the original Tomcat. Together, they were unstoppable. But behind that polished image, something else was unfolding. Nicole's career, once driven by her own ambition, started to take a back seat. Her choices became intertwined with his. She later admitted, "I sort of disappeared into him." Even in her film roles, Far and Away in 1992, Eyes Wide Shut in 1999, she often played characters that reflected the very dynamic consuming her real life. The devoted wife, orbiting the star. The tension deepened during the grueling 2-year shoot of Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. The film, an exploration of love, secrecy, and power in marriage, blurred the line between fiction and reality. Behind the scenes, the emotional intensity of the project began to mirror their own relationship. Add to that Tom's growing involvement in Scientology, and the strain became unbearable. The world saw a picture-perfect union, but privately, their foundation was cracking under pressure, control, faith, and the suffocating weight of fame closing in from all sides. Then, in February 2001 came the shock. Tom Cruise filed for divorce without warning. The news hit Hollywood like an earthquake. Nicole later revealed she was blindsided, completely unprepared for the end. The heartbreak didn't stop there. The separation also distanced her from their adopted children, Isabella and Connor, who remained within the circle of Scientology alongside their father. The most painful part wasn't just losing her marriage, it was losing her sense of agency. Despite her success, her narrative had been taken from her. She was a major star, yet entirely defined by the man she loved. But out of devastation came transformation. That same year, Nicole made her first red carpet appearance post-divorce for Moulin Rouge. Alone, radiant, and newly free. That night symbolized something profound. She had stepped out of his shadow. What followed was nothing short of a renaissance. Her performance in The Hours earned her an Academy Award, and she went on to deliver one powerful role after another, redefining herself as one of cinema's most versatile and fearless actresses. In time, she found real love again with musician Keith Urban, a partnership built on mutual respect and peace. Nicole Kidman's story is not just one of heartbreak, it's one of rebirth. She emerged from the ashes of her most public pain with grace and determination, reclaiming her narrative and her power. What began as a love story under the glare of Hollywood ended as a triumph of selfhood. Because sometimes the end of one chapter isn't tragedy, it's the true beginning of a legacy.